opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp gains. e5 is a common response that establishes a presence in the center, controls d4, and opens up the queen and dark-squared bishop. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the e5 pawn, and prepares to castle. Knight c6 develops the knight toward the center, protects the pawn on e5, and eyes the d4 square. The Italian game starts with bishop c4, which attacks the f7 pawn and prepares to castle quickly. Bishop c5 attacks the f2 pawn and helps control the important d4 square. c3 supports the d2, d4 pawn break and allows the queen to develop on the queen side. Knight f6 develops the knight and attacks the undefended e4 pawn. d4 takes space in the center, attacks the e5 pawn and c5 bishop, and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. e takes d4 opens up the center and captures the d4 pawn. e5 attacks the knight and gains space in the center. d5 takes space in the center, allows the light-squared bishop to develop, and attacks the bishop on c4. Bishop b5 develops the bishop, prepares to castle, and pins the knight. Knight e4 moves the knight to safety, occupies the center, and defends the bishop. c takes d4 recaptures the pawn, attacks the bishop, and adds a defender to the e5 pawn. This moves the bishop to safety. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. Castling gets the king out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. White develops the bishop and attacks the center. This misses a better way to develop a bishop off its starting square. This permits the opponent to force doubling of pawns. Castling to the same side of the board is a more cautious approach. This forces the opponent to isolate a pawn. Recaptures, applying pressure to white's pawn chain. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. This threatens to win material through a tactic. This is the way to win a pawn. Takes back. This is the only move that works. Right on target. The pawn is now passed because it can no longer be challenged by pawns as it tries to promote. Black can win a pawn using a fork with the right follow-up. Capturing that bishop wins material. Black will be winning a pawn with that fork. This moves the pawn to safety. This threatens to force eventual checkmate. This stops the opponent from being able to force eventual checkmate. This misses a better way to take an open file with a rook. The piece finds a new active square. This misses an opportunity to develop a rook off its starting square. This misses an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. This doubles the rooks on a file, which allows them to team up to create threats. With the rook now developed as well, white has all pieces ready for action. This threatens to play checkmate. This is an equal trade. Recaptures, a very strong play. Only one move worked there, and this wasn't it. This attacks black's pawn chain, putting the piece on a blockade square. This is the only good move. The bishop is kicked by a pawn, and must now move or be captured. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. Very precise. This places a rook on the 7th rank, where it can be highly active. One of the best moves. A solid choice. The piece finds a new active square. This misses a better way to set up a blockade. This passed pawn is a strong asset for white. A very strong play. This passed pawn is a strong asset for white. One of the best moves. A solid choice. Putting the piece on a blockade square. This is the strongest option. Right on target. This loses material. This is a nice tactic found in time trouble. Very precise. This is the only move that works. This blocks the check from an opposing rook. This is the strongest option. That was a free rook. This is the start of the endgame, and black is winning. Right on target. This evades the check from the rook. The bishop finds a new active square. Very precise. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This is the strongest option. This defends the attacked pawn. A very strong play. One of the best moves. Right on target. Pushing a passed pawn. Very precise. An active king is critical in the endgame, and getting it off of the back rank is the first step. Threatening that pinned piece is going to win a bishop. This creates a counter threat against the rook, as opposed to retreat. This captures a free bishop. This removes the attacking rook. Now white can't stop black from winning a rook if they make the right moves. This threatens to force eventual checkmate.